Defense Beyblades had a pretty rough start in Beyblade X, but with the recent release of Triceratops, along with some strong meta Beyblades like Nightmail and Hover Wyvern, I thought it was about time I give defense a chance and see if I can win a Beyblade tournament with a pure defensive deck setup. This tournament was hosted by Beyblade X London in Europa Gaming. This one's in Wembley. If you want to check them out, they have an Instagram, or you can find their tournaments on the WBO tournament listing site. This tournament was standard 3 versus 3, up to 5 points, but it was just round robin. Whoever comes out on top wins the whole tournament. There's no top cut. It was purely if you win the round robin, then you win the tournament. So let's have a look at my defensive deck, and then we'll hop into that footage of that tournament. So for my deck, I went with the 3 Hover Wyvern being actually in my main deck, so it's definitely going to join this defensive deck. On the same combo I use in my main deck, a 960 and a kick. This thing hits ridiculously hard. It is definitely one of the best releases of the year. An amazing, amazing bay. Absolutely love it. Next up is Golem Rock, a bay that I really like the look of, but I never really gave it much chance to shine. But I do see people using it all the time, so I thought this is a good chance for me to get some time with Golem Rock and see what it can do. On the combo, a 360 Hexa. So a defensive setup for Golem Rock. And lastly is the brand new Triceratops. If you saw my videos, I was not overly impressed with it, but I thought I would give it its chance, give it its time. And if after this I still think it's not very good, then yeah, it's gonna gather dust. But on the combo, 160 low rush. I wanted it lower so the launcher hooks get a bit more contact into play. I think that's the best way to use it because they're nice and chunky for big smash hits. And then I'm actually not using string. If you've seen my videos, you'll know I am pretty much purely a string user. I love string. I don't really like launchers. But the guys over at Foxy Tricks Prints sent me this grip handle for the winder launcher, which looks amazing and it actually feels amazing as well. It really does make it so much nicer to launch. So I thought while I'm testing today with this defensive deck, I will also test my winder launcher ability and use this new grip. Absolutely love it. If I'm ever going to use winder launcher, I will definitely be using it with this grip. If they can make a string launcher one, I would definitely be interested in that. But if you guys want to get hold of one of these, I will leave a link down below and you can use the discount code BAYMAC to get 10% off. Highly recommend seeing the footage, how it looks, how it goes. But yeah, really, really comfortable. Really, really nice. Right, let's get into the tournament itself. Before we get into the tournament, I'm in a title belt challenge up against Biscuit Boy Harry, who is the current Beyblade title holder. Basically, in Beyblade X London, if you're high enough in the leaderboard or you win enough tournaments, you get to challenge for the title. Today, I am up against Harry for my chance to get to the title. Let's see how I did. So I'm starting off with my Hover Wyvern up against, I believe it's either a Dram Buster or Phoenix Wing, but yeah, I get pocketed, so not a great start to this title challenge. Then I have my Red Phoenix come out and I get a nice extreme, so it is 3-2 to me at the moment. Then I have Wizard Rod on ball coming out. This is a continental belt, so it means it's only Hasbro stuff that is available to us in Europe or the UK, which means we have to play in a Hasbro stadium. It can be this one or Clash and Carry or Bucket, any of that are available, but only stuff available in Europe. And I get a nice spin at that point, so it is 4-2 at this moment. Pretty good. Hover Wyvern out again, and I get an unfortunate extreme. So it is now 5-4 Got my rod out. So yeah, it's only Beyblades that are available in Europe as well. So no Cobalt Dragoons on Elevate because we haven't got Tide Whale over here yet. And we've got no Silver Wolf, so I went with Rod, Phoenix and Hover Wyvern. And I get the outspin on that point. So it is now 5-5. It is all down to this. It's Phoenix versus Phoenix, and unfortunately I get pocketed and I have lost my chance to grab that title belt, but I will one day get a hold of it. Well done to Harry. Right, into round one we go. I am leading off with my Hover Wyvern on that kick. You can see me using my new grip on the winder launcher. Really comfortable. Really liked it. Don't really like winder launchers still, but the grip definitely made it more enjoyable. Hover Wyvern throwing itself into a pocket, so not a great start for this one. Out next, Golem Rock, also going into that same pocket. I forgot it was to 5 points. I thought the game was over, but still had a chance to come back. And Tricerapress actually did something. Big pocket into the corner from it. Hover Wyvern back out first again. I think up against Tyranno Beat. I think my opponent was using a Dino deck, I believe. And Hover taking the spin. That kick still has got quite a bit of stamina in it. Now Golem Rock on Hexa. Nearly got the pocket. Nearly take the victory. Believe I'm up against a Tyranno Roar at this point. And Golem taking the spin. So it's come down to 4-4. Next point wins it all. Tricerapress. I need it to do something for me. I always find with Tricerapress it just does not hit that hard even with a good wind up. I tried to tilt it quite a lot to get under. I think it was Scorpio. Try and get that burst finish. But Tricerapress couldn't do it and I lose game one. Next out. Again I am leading with Hover Wyvern. This opponent used a very, I would say, stamina heavy deck. I think there was ball, free ball, and something else, possibly point. But yeah, quite a hard opponent to beat. And Silver Wolf outspins my Hover Wyvern. Next I've got Golem Rock again. I pretty much didn't change my order. Pretty much just ran what I started out with. I identified Tricerapress as probably my weak link, so I kept it last, so hopefully I get enough points by the time I need to use Tricerapress. Golem Rock up against a Samurai Saber. And my Golem Rock getting outspun. So not going great. Don't really want 2 losses. That's probably the worst thing you can have at a tournament, is starting with 2 losses. Even if you win the next 3, it's very difficult to make the top cut usually, or just make the top. And Tricerapress gets out as well. Hover Wyvern back in. I'm 3-0 down. I need a big extreme, would be nice at this point. Some big hits. Both of us losing a lot of stamina. But Hover losing a lot more. And I am 4-0 down. 1 point away from getting 5-0'd, which is just pretty awful. Out comes Golem Rock. watched my videos, you'll know I am definitely more of an attack user. So this was definitely a different sort of challenge today. Golem Rock managing to get the spin. 4-1, I've got Tricera Press out, so my hopes are not high, especially against Silver Wolf. But it does get an extreme, so put in some work so far. It's got a pocket and extreme for me. Hover Wyvern back out. It's 4-4. This point wins the game. I get some big hits underneath the opponent's, I believe, Wizard Rod, and I take that victory. So clawed that one back. Next up, I'm against 444, who is an extremely good blader. He is using, I believe, Scorpio Spear on Disc Ball, which is proven to be pretty effective. If you haven't tried it, then definitely give it a go. Nearly got the pocket, really needed the burst against him. But luckily I managed to outspin. Then we have Golem Rock back out and it gets pocketed. Usually Golem Rock's quite tanky, especially with Hexa, so it doesn't usually get deflected like that, but unfortunate. And then Tricera Press actually got a burst, so far Press has actually done really well in this tournament. And Hover Wyvern doing Hover Wyvern things, manages to get a pocket, and I win this match as well. Then out comes my Hover Wyvern up against, I believe it's a Knight Lance or a Knight Shield, one of the two, which you very rarely see in competitive play. Not sure what the combo was, but it was definitely stronger than I thought it would be. Taking a point from my hover. Golem Rock back out. Up against, I believe, his hover. And my Golem gets burst. So, again, not a strong start. Press coming out. And it managed to get a point, so it actually has done really well this tournament so far. Hover managed to outspin this time around. Same matchup. Golem up against that hover again. I think we both kept the same order. With Hexa, as long as I can keep myself from getting pocketed, I should be okay to outlast, and it does. 3-3, very tight match again. And this time Tricera Press couldn't outspin Phoenix. And I believe the order is exactly the same again. Hover up against that Knight. And Hover with the spin finish. So it's at 4-4 again. These games have been so close today. And unfortunately my Golem Rock gets pocketed. I didn't position it very well, but it is what it is. Another loss. Hover out first. And it gets a nice pocket, so good start to this game. I am on my favoured side of the stadium and I get the extreme, so definitely happier on that side of the stadium. This one an instantaneous extreme as well, which is nice. Golem Rock up against Wizard Rod. I think the Rod was on Rush. So as long as I can tank the hits, it should be good. And it does manage to outspin. Four 0 up, so definitely in a good position. But my opponent was managed to claw one back. And we've got Hover out again. Up against that Phoenix. Kick, as I said before, it's got a lot of stamina, so as long as I can avoid deflecting myself into a pocket, should be good. And I am, so I win that next one, and this is the last game of the tournament. Both of us going for the drop launches, and I get an unfortunate deflection into a pocket. Golem Rock with that Hexa. Up against a Tyranno Beat on Bound Spike, which is surprisingly pretty good. Do manage to outspin it this time though. Tricera Press is out. And it gets extremed, unfortunately. But that is the end of the tournament, and lucky for me, I come out on top. First place with a defense deck. Well, that's it from me. I won the tournament with a defensive deck, which was unusual. I'm not one to use defensive Beyblades, but they did okay. Hover Wyvern's the GOAT. Golem Rock is definitely strong, and Tricera Press is just not good. But I gave it its chance. It's not a good Bay overall. Even though I won it, I really don't think it's a good Beyblade. But that's it from me. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know down below if you run defensive bays in your deck or if you're thinking about moving over. That's it from me.